Well, to be honest, I would say, 솔직히 말하면, well, to be honest, I would say I spend most of my free time watching movies or reading books. Let me think for a second. 잠깐 생각해 볼게요. Let me think for a second. I would say my favorite season is autumn because the weather is perfect. That's an interesting question. 재미있는 질문이네요. That's an interesting question. I guess if I could travel anywhere right now, I would go to Switzerland. I've never really thought about it, but 한 번도 깊이 생각해 본 적은 없지만 I've never really thought about it, but if I had to choose between living in a city or the countryside, I think I would prefer the city. I guess it depends on the situation, but generally speaking, 상황에 따라 다르겠지만 일반적으로 I guess it depends on the situation, but generally speaking, I prefer working alone because I can focus better without distractions. For example, I remember one time when 예를 들면 한 번은 이런 일이 있었어요. For example, I remember one time when I got lost in a foreign country because my phone died. It was quite stressful, but I eventually found my way back with the help of a kind local. Speaking from my experience, 제 경험을 바탕으로 말하자면, speaking from my experience, learning a new language takes time and patience, but practicing every day really helps improve fluency. There was a time when 제가 했던 적이 있어요. There was a time when I stayed up all night studying for an exam, and I regretted it the next day because I couldn't focus at all. One memorable experience I had was 기억에 남는 경험 중 하나는 One memorable experience I had was when I tried skydiving for the first time. I was terrified at first, but once I jumped, it was the most exhilarating feeling ever. To give you a concrete example, 구체적인 예를 들자면, to give you a concrete example, when I was a student, I used to struggle with time management, but making a daily schedule really helped me stay organized. The main reason is that 주된 이유는 때문이에요. The main reason is that exercising regularly helps me stay both physically and mentally healthy. This is because 이건 때문이에요. This is because getting enough sleep allows the body to recover and improves concentration during the day. I strongly believe that 저는 강하게 믿어요라고. I strongly believe that traveling is one of the best ways to learn about different cultures and broaden one's perspective. Personally, I prefer A over B because 개인적으로 저는 B보다 A를 선호하는데 그 이유는 Personally, I prefer working in a team over working alone because I can share ideas and get support from others. From my perspective, 제 관점에서 보면, from my perspective, learning a new skill is always beneficial no matter what age you are. In my opinion, 제 생각에는, in my opinion, technology has made our lives more convenient, but it has also made people more dependent on their devices. Another reason is that 또 다른 이유는 Another reason is that reading books regularly improves not only vocabulary, but also critical thinking skills.
Compared to the past, 과거와 비교하면, compared to the past, people today rely much more on technology in their daily lives. On the other hand, 반면에, I enjoy spending time with friends. On the other hand, I also need some alone time to recharge. While A's and B's, 화가인 반면 B는, while online shopping is convenient, shopping in stores allows you to see and try the products before buying. Unlike A, B is A와는 달리 B는. Unlike winter, summer is full of outdoor activities and events. In contrast to 대조적으로, in contrast to my younger self, I now prefer a quiet weekend at home rather than going out. I'm really into these days. 요즘 저는 애 푹 빠져 있어요. I'm really into watching documentaries these days. They help me learn new things in a fun way. I'm a huge fan of 저는 엄청 좋아해요. I'm a huge fan of Italian food. I could eat pasta and pizza every day. I enjoy because 저는 하는 걸 즐겨요. 왜냐하면 I enjoy going for a walk in the evening because it helps me relax after a long day. I find it really interesting to 저는 하는 게 정말 흥미롭다고 생각해요. I find it really interesting to learn about different cultures through traveling. If I had to choose one, I'd go with 하나를 선택해야 한다면 저는 늘 선택할 거예요. If I had to choose one, I'd go with summer because I love the warm weather and outdoor activities. When I face this kind of situation, 이런 상황에 처하면 저는 보통 when I face this kind of situation, I usually take a deep breath and try to stay calm before making a decision. What I normally do is 제가 보통 하는 것은 What I normally do is make a to-do list to organize my tasks and stay on track. To deal with this, I try to 이 문제를 해결하기 위해 저는 하려고 해요. To deal with this, I try to break the problem down into smaller steps and solve them one by one. In order to avoid this, 이걸 피하기 위해 저는 In order to avoid this, I always double check my schedule before making plans. A good way to handle this is 이 문제를 다루는 좋은 방법은 A good way to handle this is to ask for advice from someone with more experience. So to sum up, 그래서 정리하자면, so to sum up, regular exercise is essential for maintaining both physical and mental health. In conclusion, 결론적으로, in conclusion, learning a new language takes time and effort, but it is definitely worth it. Overall, I believe that. 전반적으로 저는라고 생각해요. Overall, I believe that having a good work-life balance is crucial for long-term happiness. That's why I think 그래서 저는라고 생각해요. That's why I think it's important to set realistic goals rather than aiming for perfection. All in all, 결국 all in all, making small but consistent efforts every day leads to big improvements over time. At the end of the day, 결국에는 At the end of the day, what really matters is being happy and satisfied with your own life.